Hey everyone, so today we have a 16-year-old. You're only 16, right, Roy?
15.
Oh, you're 15? Okay, we got a
Yeah.
15-year-old coder. Can you give us quick background on yourself?
Okay. Hello. My name is Roy Ballerhu. I am a freshman at Vernon Hills High School, and I've been doing lead code since the last 2 years.
Wow. So what
Yes.
what school or where is that? What country is that in?
It's located in the United States, Chicago,
Okay.
Illinois.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how did you get into leak code already at 15 years old? Is it
Um,
is your
s-
parents into it or people at school or maybe your high school is very sciencey or no?
no. So none of my parents are known in the tech industry. They don't have much background in it, so I was just scrolling through YouTube and found a YouTube video. I think it was Nick White.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, I just started watching him, and then I came across a video where he interviewed like people for $100 to solve
Yeah.
a coding problem. Yeah. So when I watched that, I kind of got ambitious and curious. So I just started solving lead code. I discovered a website called Lead Code and started solving it.
Wow, that's crazy. How many did you already learn? When did you learn how to code? I guess. Like, how do you just solve leak
I
code? You already probably had some background in coding then from school, or no?
a little bit. I had a coding boot camp for a few months, but other than that, I didn't have much background. I just went in without any knowledge.
Wow. How was that experience? Was it tough at first? Like, how many questions have you solved now?
Right now, I solved over 600 questions, but
Holy crap!
at first it was really hard. I didn't know the different types of data structures.
Yeah.
Half of the time, I've been solving leak code. I was just solving random questions, and then the other last year, I actually started organizing my problems and been more efficient since.
That's crazy. You're literally just doing leak code for fun, or are you planning to take computer science or something when you get into college?
Yes, something related to cybersecurity and computer science.
I see.
Yes.
Cool. All right, let's just get straight into it. Let's test out your skills. What language do you like to use?
Right now, I think I'll use C++. plus plus.
Okay, yeah. So, if you're not familiar, this is CoderPad, and a lot of companies use this platform in order to conduct their coding interviews. So it's an
Mm-hmm.
interactive code editor. You can see when I highlight, I can see what you highlight. I
Yes.
can see when you even leave the screen. I can see
Mm-hmm.
as you type. You can run the code and see the output on the right side.
Okay.
So it's just an interactive live editor. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna post in the question, and you're gonna solve the question like we're running a real live coding interview. I've done a ton of these in the past. Like I've been on the other side actually conducting these, so I'm gonna conduct it the same way I would conduct it back in my previous companies. How's that sound?
Oh, cool. Yeah, it sounds nice.
All right, cool. So, um, yeah, let's just find you the first question. Let's switch to Python
Okay.
or let's switch to C++. plus plus. Why'd you decide to use C++ plus plus out of everything?
Um, I used to use Java, but I guess C++ plus plus is just more easy to use. I also do code forces.
Oh wow, how many code forces have you done? Questions.
I've been doing it the last 4 months. Right now, I think I solved over 200.
Wow. How is it compared to LeetCode?
Much more harder.
Way harder, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. I can't believe you're doing lead code questions and code forces for fun at age of 15. You're only in grade 10, right? You're a freshman in high school?
Freshman. Yes.
Wow. That is insane. Okay. Let me find you the right question. All right, I got you the first question. I'm going to post this in. So I'll explain it quickly. We're pretty much given a string,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like string here, a string S, and we need to return the longest substring that doesn't have duplicate characters. So you see this substring right here is ABC. This is the longest substring, and it's not ABCA because there's um, A appears twice, right? So we need to look for the longest substring, and the substring is contiguous elements, elements side by side that are yeah, pretty much just find the longest length sequence inside of the word that doesn't have duplicate characters. I'm pretty sure yeah you understand it. I'll let you go ahead and read that and just ask me if you have any questions.
Um, this. Is the constraints 10 to the power of 4?
Yeah, 10 to the power of 4.
Okay. Um, okay. I think I pretty much understand it.
What are you thinking?
So right now, um, okay, so the first thought that came into my mind was a brute force approach. Basically, I would just um try every single possible solution, right?
Yeah.
And then I would use a nested for loop. So while I'm generating every single possible substrings, I would use a hash map or an array to store the current scene characters. And then if it already contains the character using that substring, I would basically um not use it, I guess, and then move on. But looking at it now, since the constraint is 10 to the power of 4, using a nested for loop would be um, TLE, I
Yeah.
think. So I think I'm going to use a two-pointer approach, basically a sliding window approach
Okay.
here.
And how would that work on like
Okay.
example 1?
For example one, I would create a variable called left. I would set it to 0, and then meanwhile, I would just loop through the string, and then while I'm looping, I'm gonna check if the current substring I already for loop has the character, the current character, and if it does, I would shrink the window from the left, increment my left pointer by 1, and then if it doesn't have any duplicates, I would just continue. And that's kind of my approach, I'm thinking.
Okay. Sounds reasonable. Go ahead and try to implement it.
Okay. Should I just use this? Okay. So let's first create a string s and get it as an input. And then now we're creating a new variable.
Let's assume that
Oh,
we create a function that we can just pass in like s and
oh,
yeah, a function that
okay.
takes maybe called solution and it takes in the string s and then returns back the integer number.
Okay. So mm, do I just assume the s is already there?
Well, we're gonna call main later like this main with like we're gonna call your function later, so just set it up
Hmm.
so that it could accept It's a function that accepts a string. Does it make sense?
Okay. So is this fine?
Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, I would create a variable left or left pointer to be more specific. And then um I would also create another variable called max distance, which is initially one because one is the a max I mean the minimum length of a substring without a duplicate letter character is always one. And then I would loop through the string using a for loop. And then before that, I'm thinking, should I use a map or an array? I think an array would be more efficient. So I would just create a vector of int um vector of s dot length and set it to 0. And then after that, oh wait, vector frequency. Um, and then okay, let's just create a char storing the current vector. So char, let's do er equals s at I. And then to find the index in a vector array, let's do hmm, cur index equal to cur minus a. I believe this is right. And then let's do while um character frequency. If there's a character already present in the subset, we can check it by asking if the character frequency vector is true or false. If it is, then we would increment the left pointer by one. But before we do that, we need to set the character at the left pointer to 0 because we're basically cutting that from our subset. So character freak equal add left
Mm-hmm.
pointer equals 0. Oh, SA, SA equals 0. And then let's increment it. And then this while loop will end if there is no character already in that substring. So I can just set that to true. Okay, so now let's implement the maximum distance approach. So, uh,
Wait. Yep. I can still hear you. Why'd you pause? Where'd you cut out?
so right now I'm just like figuring out how I would figure out the
Okay.
maximum distance.
Okay. Sorry, I thought my Wi-Fi.
Oh, you're good, you're good.
So we
Mm,
grab current. What is this? The current
yes,
character, and we
yes.
get the current index. We say while
Yes.
the character frequency
Oh,
is
true. Or let's do this.
okay. Then what we do is what is this? What? Why are we setting character frequency of the left to 0?
So basically,
I see. Okay,
yes. So we're just like cutting that from our substrings because we're not gonna use that anymore.
I see.
Yes. And then we're incrementing the left pointer. And then let's just set this equals to 0. And then um every time we get a new character, we increase it, but every time we um increment our left pointer, we decrease our current distance.
Hmm.
And then let's create a maximum distance. I shouldn't have deleted that. Okay. And then after we've finished, let's do maximum distance equal to max between maximum distance or current distance. And then at the end, let's just return the maximum distance.
Okay. Can you try dry running the code for me for a small example like this? Let's just make sure, and then yeah, try to. You can use like the left and right pointer just so I could see how everything's going there and try
Okay,
to maintain all the different variables. Or I guess I just
okay.
care about the max distance right here.
Um, I'll just include. Should I include the left pointer and current distance?
Pardon? Say it again.
Should I include all these characters or just the max distance?
I just care about the max distance.
Okay, okay. So let's assume the bottom one is our left pointer and then the top one is our um current pointer in the for loop. So right here, um we first when we first come here, we get the current index, which is 1. And then we increment our current distance by 1. Yes, and then after that, we check if there is already a character at the current distance, which is false because everything is set to 1. So we um increment. Oh, we set the index at the character to true, and then we update our maximum distance, which is 1 because the maximum distance was already 1 and the current distance is 1, so there's no big difference. And then we increment our right pointer by 1 also. So after this, C is basically the same process because there's no duplicate variables here.
Yeah.
So yes. And then A is also the same. So when we come to B, we check if the vector array has a character at the current index, which is true because we initially set it to 1 in the first character. So this while loop is gonna run. And then while this while loop is running, we're gonna set the left pointer to 0, which is B. So this becomes 0. And then they decrement the current distance by -1. So our current distance here was, I think, 4. So this becomes 3. And then we increment our left pointer, so it comes to C. And then we're gonna check again. So it turns out our current index at the character is not true, so let's keep continuing. When we increment our right pointer again, we check if there is another value present. It is, so we do the same thing. Set it equals to 0, increment our left pointer
Okay.
by 1,
Can we try running it through
and
some
then,
examples to just make sure it works? It looks good, but run it through some
okay.
test cases.
I'm not sure why this is giving there.
Yeah, run it through some test cases. Give me some. You're back. S dot length. Do you see the issue? The or do you see the error message at the right?
Yes.
It's yeah.
Hmm.
What is it?
Mm, I'm not sure. What is this giving there? Should I just put this in a new function?
I think. Wait. It's like the way you're calling it. How do you usually call it? I never had to use C++. I think you need a separate function for this code and call this
Yes.
inside main. Yeah, you have to create main.
Yes.
Oh, I see, I see. Because you
Oh,
just wrote it straight in main. And
yes.
main is just going to run. Okay, I see,
Yes.
I see. I see.
Just do.
Yeah, main takes no args. Let's see if this runs now.
Okay, let's run this. Oh, okay. This was a string. Okay. Okay.
I think it's complaining more about the for loop, yeah.
Complaining about the for loop.
Yeah. It says integer expression again signed. So S dot length. So with the comparison of I and S dot length. I don't use C++, so I don't know what's complaining about. Maybe.
Mm,
What's this guy? Or do you have to call size, not length?
I think you call it length.
This.
Yes, it is. Oh, let's just.
You said warning is fine. I think you just need to input a string. It's just a warning. Like, actually
Oh,
print out the result now.
okay.
Yeah, I see.
I think it's printed
Where?
here. I'm printing it.
You look like you're in an infinite loop. Yeah,
Mm,
your code's an infinite loop.
okay. What is wrong? Um, okay, let's do. It's probably with the while loop, I think.
Yeah, there's a bug there.
Yes.
Um,
Okay, wait. Um,
like where would you be? Let's see. Is this infinite looping right there?
break semicolon.
Right, S dot length. What's going on here?
Ah,
What's S here? Did you set S or no?
this string.
Because you didn't type. You need to type in. What is this S in? Is it waiting for something? Why don't you just define the string S like this? Like,
Oh,
yeah. Like what's going on here? There you go.
okay. Wait.
It returned. It returned
Three.
three as the. That's not the right
Right.
result. Yeah, this three is not the right result for this right here. Oh, return two now. Let's see. Let me run this through my. Let's get lead code to test it for you.
Okay.
It looks good from what I see, but I need to verify. Oh, you're getting some overflows. Let's see. Did you import character frequency? Where did you get that?
Um, I just created a vector.
I see. Oh, okay, that's the name. Wait, it's complaining about. Try easy.
Mm.
It's breaking on AZ. Yeah, because there's you see that error? to do with the memory.
Okay. At this point, I might have just do it in Java because I think it will work.
Okay, no problem. Let's just move on to the next question then.
Okay.
Let me. Yeah, it looks like it would work in most cases, but need to debug. There's like some.
Yes.
Holy crap! It tweaked. That's the one thing about C++. But you see the issue, right? It's saying something about. Oh, I see. I see. Yeah, you had a bug here. You're initializing the vector with s dot length instead of 26 because the vector is supposed to contain for.
All right.
There you go. See,
Okay.
you fix that on leak code. I need to learn C++ because everyone keeps using this. All right, it's
Yeah,
work.
it's supposed to be easy.
Okay, it just doesn't work for the empty string.
Okay. In each case.
Let me see. Let me just fix that on here. Yeah, it's just the edge case.
Or you could just set the maximum distance
More,
to 0.
dude. The edge cases here really annoying. What if the? What is this? S consists of. Oh, I think you initialized it to characters, but this thing could take in English letters, digits, symbols, and spaces. So that's why you can't just use a
Oh,
vector. Okay, well we'll move to. You have to use like a hash map or something to count the
yes, yes.
frequencies. Um,
Yeah.
let's see. Let's move on to the next question. Yeah, the tricky one.
Okay.
But you got it for alphabetical characters. Let me find
Okay.
yours question two. But this is the second question. I'm gonna post it in here. So we're pretty much getting we're gonna be given a grid. We're gonna
Mm-hmm.
be given a gold mine, and we need to figure out. Let's see. We're given an M by N gold mine. Each cell in the mine could tells us how much gold is in that cell. So if we're given a
Okay.
grid like this, right?
Right.
So let's look at the first one. That's the first. That's the every cell has. So this one has 6 gold. The middle one
Mm-hmm.
has 8. So what you want to do is you want to start you want to figure out what's the path that will yield the most amount of gold if you take that path. And you can't pretty much you have to pick one spot to start at, and then you
Mm-hmm.
need to visit the neighbors and try to collect as much gold as possible, right? But you can't visit the
Okay.
same cell more than once. So for
Ornaments.
example, the best path here is 987, right? But you can't go backwards. You can't go 987 then back and then to 6. You just have to pick 987 and you're done.
Can I go 9, 8, 7, 0, and 6?
No, you
Oh,
have to. You can never visit a cell with zero
okay.
gold.
All right. Um,
So let me see. So
is
these are
there
the
a constraint?
conditions. Yeah, you can visit the same. You can't visit the same cell. Paul, what's up? No, these are pretty much the constraints. Actually, I'll share the constraints because you're curious.
Okay, 15. So from what I understand, we basically have a grid of gold, and then we have the ability to choose any way we want. So we start from there and then start collecting the gold, but we can't visit the same cell twice, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what are the different
Um.
options with this grid? Well, we can pick six. We can do 6, 8, 7. That'll yield us 23 gold or 21 gold, or we can go 6, 8, 5, or we can go 6, 8, 9, right?
Mhm.
Or we can go like just 6, 8, or we can start at 8, 7, 8, and then go to 7, 8. Like, but pretty much we have to go one path, and we can't visit the same node more than once.
Okay. Um. So the first things uh that's coming to my head is basically a DFS approach.
Mm-hmm.
So um since I can start from any path of any cell, I would first loop through each cell and then do a DFS
Uh
on
huh.
that cell. And then basically I would call the function on the neighbor cells and then pick the maximum it returns. And I since I can't revisit visit the cell more than once, I think I'll use the vector array to store the cells I visited already. And then if it turns out I already visited that cell, I would just end the path. So yeah,
Wait, could you explain
that's
it again? Like you're gonna do a DFS?
I'm gonna do a DFS on every cell
Mm-hmm.
and then have a Boolean array that shows whether I visited this cell or not. So I can make sure I don't visit the cell more than once.
Okay, how would we? So we DFS from 6 right here. That would be one.
Yes.
And then how would that work? It would explore what path?
It
So we
would
can.
basically explore all the neighbor paths. So it would explore 0, 8. But since we can't, the cell 0 is not allowed, so this is not going to return anything. And then we would visit 8, and then the 8 will visit 5 and 7, and then it would also visit a 9, and then we would get the maximum of these paths, which is 9, and then we would basically return the sum. But
Okay. Okay. So what if there is like a 10 here? How's what's gonna be the answer now?
um, okay.
Like how is a DFS gonna work here?
So it would still go through every cell, and then hmm,
Like the answer here would probably be 6, 8, 7, 10, 9, or something.
I think the answer will be 6, 8, 9, and 10.
What about 7? It's like what if the
Hmm.
path wrapped around like that?
Okay, so okay. So if I do a DFS straight away, I would basically like restrain some of the other paths. So I think I'm gonna use a backtracking approach. So every time I visit a cell, I backtrack it so every path will be visited. So here it would start from 6, it goes to 8, and then it would probably go to 7 or 5, and then 7 um and 9 would both go to 10, and then um if it goes to 7, 7 would go to 10, and then 10 would go to 9. So I think that would give all of four of these
Okay.
numbers.
Because
Number.
you didn't want to mark it as seen if we got
Yes,
to 10 because then it won't even be able to visit that, right? And wouldn't give us the right result.
yes, yes.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. So you're gonna do a backtracking algorithm on every single node.
Um, I think,
Yeah,
yeah, for now, I think I'll do a backtracking
makes
approach on
sense.
every
All
single node.
right, go ahead and implement that. I think the solution sounds good to me.
Okay, so basically, um, let's just suppose we get uh, a vector array called array, and then let's do, yes. Okay, on this function f, let's create a DFS function. Actually, let's just use this function f as a DFS, and then this would be given to the grade array, and then the current location I and j, and then the Boolean array I'll visit it. So from here, let's first check the base cases. Let's check if I is less than 0 or I is greater or equal to array dot. Oh, let's create a variable n and m to track the size of the array, and
And
then let's check.
for a time check, we have 10 minutes left on coding, so
Okay,
gotta go
okay,
fast.
so if I is less than 0 or I is greater or equal to n, or j is less than 0 or j is greater or equal to n, we would return 0. And oh, also, if array I in j equal to 0, or it's already visited. And then after this, let's do call the function on, I mean, let's just first mark this node as visited. So array I j equal to 1, and then let's create a variable called up equals CFS at array at +1, j visited, and M student down equal defense array. Oh, this is I minus one. Okay. Just do the same for left and right. And then let's mark this as unvisited at the end. Um, yes. So, and then after that, at the end, we are going to return the maximum values we collected from the path plus the current goal we're sitting on. So return ij plus max between um up, down, left, and right. Here, create the visited Boolean array. Oops.
What is this? Oh, you're building out the vector.
Yes. Okay. Mm.
When it comes
X, are you there? Are you at Meta? Yo, that guy's too famous. How do you even get a hold of him? No way. Yo, look me up. Did you look me up yet? That's so funny. Are you an intern? Say less. That's so. What level are you like? Oh, you're an intern, or you've been working there, or are you full time?
Okay. Can I just test this on LeetCode? Because usually in like code forces there would be a boundary like n or n to show the length of the array. Because if I just do array dot size here, I think it would
Well,
be
we could just pass in an n by n then. Let's just do that. Let's pass in an n by n.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do for this. This is 5 and 3.
Is that your graduation year, 2026?
Can I ask the AI assistant to like
Yep. Go ahead.
generate a vector? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Spam that AI assistant. We got 5 minutes left.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember you. Yeah, I remember you. Okay, one problem here is I don't think you're. You need to add like +1 here, no? Or
I thought it was just the gold.
oh yeah, because you're already collecting the gold. Sorry, my bad. Oh yeah, you're doing it
Yes.
right here. You're here. Perfect.
Let's do 5
You're
plus
smart,
plus.
man.
I'm still improving. Okay, so I'll just give.
Just see out the answer at the end.
Okay.
The final answer.
J. Oh,
They're trying to cook me on the long weekend. What's happening here? Okay, you're trying to get the max. Okay,
mm,
sounds good. And you're already good at hitting the prompt. I like that. You're already good at using
okay.
GPT. That's crazy. You're gonna grow up using GPT already. When did you
That's
start?
the
Or I'll ask you this after. Go ahead. Just
stuff.
what's the
Okay.
issue now?
It's giving error when I create a 2D Boolean array. I can just do int. Really supposed to be bool. Okay.
You need to see out the answer.
Okay.
Answer 28. It's off by 4.
Oh,
Oh no.
it's right, I think.
Yeah, you're right. Nice. How do you think you did?
Okay.
How was that for you?
The first question, I probably would have got it. I don't know. I wasted a lot of time figuring out the bug. But yeah, overall, I think I needed to improve on my thought process and be more engaged with you. But yeah, I think this was a good ex a learning experience for me.
Nice. Yeah. No, honestly, I think you did really good. Problem solving skills, very good. I think the one thing to just improve on is just having the syntax down for C++ faster. Because the issues that you ran into were C++ related things.
Yes.
Like, so for the first question, I think just getting the main function to run with the, and then passing in the input, and then printing out the output. That part, you, yeah, that part took a little bit more time than needed. And there's other
Yes.
language specific things that slowed us down. But I think with the
Mm-hmm.
problem solving skills, you're good. I would just make sure to be able to write these algorithms completely from scratch because that's what you have to do in an interview, and
Mm-hmm.
just figure out how to debug it, the language specific stuff faster. But other than that, no, I
Mm-hmm.
think you did actually really good. You solved
Thank
most of the
you.
questions optimally.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, good luck. Maybe we can,
Okay.
yeah, we'll run this again at a different time. Keep on practicing. Are you gonna try to get to like 1,000 questions or what?
Yeah, I'm pushing. I'm pushing.
All right. Nice. Nice to meet you.
Hopefully a dollar.
Thanks
All
for
right.
hopping
Thank
on.
you.
No problem. All
Yes.
right. See ya.
Pleasure.